My Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10 happy, don't you grab it.
Welcome to Lobster Magnets, the review, the channel, the review. I'm here with my buddy Zavul.
Evening, folks.
So we're going to try a bit of an interesting format change. As you can see, the channel is evolving. I'm trying out new crazy shit. These video reviews are basically podcasts, and I'm also terrible at setting up the overlays that good old Goro Gregoro does. So we're basically going to try an audio-only sort of podcast review, and honestly, this is what this content is supposed to be. It's like cheap, disposable things, and if you're bored and you want to go fold your laundry, you listen to us talk about things. And
no one needs to watch us do anything.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if your comments, if you really want to see our faces. It'll be interesting to see what you prefer, the actual face thing versus this. But always experimenting, always changing. Obviously.
Plus, now I can wear my collection of really disturbing Halloween masks, and no one can tell.
Yeah, who knows what you got on now. So, all right, so we are really behind. I blame it on lots of things. I blame it on real life. I blame it on the post office. I blame it on Greg not being around and Scott trying to have a real life, or Zavil having a real life. But anyway, so we're going to do One Piece chapter 878 and 879. These two chapters together. Goro Gregoro is off doing his motherfucking art classes, which I have many, many, many thoughts about that. So
just go with it.
Yeah, just go
right.
with it. That's half the reason why we're.
I want to fucking open with I fucking called it. that he has a fucking candy arm. I fucking called it.
Yeah, that sort of made sense.
Although, Mel, I have a really weird question.
Yes.
How much of any given Logia user can be lopped off and replaced with their element?
Well, was he a Logia? He felt more of like a Paramecia, because he could control things, but he couldn't phase out of it.
Yeah,
it is similar though. We this isn't unprecedented in the sense that we saw Koji lost his foot in his battle with Akinu, and now he just has this ice leg which he has on all the time.
Right.
It's nice. It makes him more likable and more badass.
Mostly what I want to know is, can this person be the equivalent of a brain in a jar?
What do you... Oh.
Can we get a Sasori character in One Piece? How much of this poor fucker can we lop off before he's literally just a walking pile of candy ooze with a brain?
That's a really good question.
Can you replicate internal organs doing this? I mean, Doffy was able to, literally stitch himself back together using string.
Well, that's a good question. And considering the fact that we have, cyborgs in the One Piece universe, I'd imagine you could go pretty fucking far. Who knows? Maybe when Vegapunk is revealed, he'll just be a brain in a jar whose body is composed of whatever Logia fruit he's managed to artificially create.
Oh, that would be so fucking awesome.
Although, can I say, though, that, in the color spread in 878, I don't know, were you creeped out by, the nip slip that Oda put in for Nami?
Yeah.
I don't know, I felt like that was, a stretch too far. Did you want this, Oda? Did the Shonen Jump editorial demand this? I could get the sort of, ooh, skimpy bikini, fun time, but, I don't know. I felt like a line was crossed.
Yeah, that was... I'm beginning to hate the Shonen Jump editorial staff.
You're just going to blame it on them. And any sort of, excessive, really derogatory fan service. It's all their fault. That SBS thing proves it. They're all a bunch of perverts. And they're all, fucking wanting to, figure out, how they can, make the ultimate merchandising fucking wannabe... Daiki Makara pillow wife.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just, at this point, I just kind of assume that the change of art style is just right down to the editorial style. Because if you look at how Oda still draws the characters inside the manga, they don't really do anything extra fan servicey usually. It's just the outfits that they're stuck in and the way they're drawn. Yeah, it's kind of a Jessica Rabbit situation there.
That is really interesting comment. I've never really thought about it like that because I mean you're right. Like I can't think of anything where like very very rarely where there's like an upskirt or a panty thing or like something you'd see in fairy tale. But you're right. The outfits are just like kind of provocative, even if most of the time the characters don't do anything provocative.
Yeah, basically they're just drawn different now, and I'm seriously guessing it's the Shonen Jump editorial staff both satisfying their own disturbing urges and like badgering him so that they can sell more like Arrow statues. Yeah.
We were making so much money off of the motherfucking Luffy gender split. Have you ever seen those figurines where they have like Luffy? Yeah, and then he's like a girl, oh, sexy Luffy, and then sexy Law. Sort of, come on, guys, just stop. just stop. But, these two chapters, though, were like a great showcase for, like, the MVP of this arc, motherfucking Dogtooth category, the most capable member of the Big Mom Pirates.
Jesus Christ, he's grown on me so much. Like, he has managed to take what is possibly one of the stupidest fucking devil fruit powers that we've run across in just ages and just make it work. He just makes that shit work.
Although, what's really funny? Like, I was looking around at some comments and someone, like, pointed this out and I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. Luffy's in a mirror world where he's having a mirror match.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Dogtooth is literally the exact opposite of Luffy.
Yeah, he's the exact opposite, but he's pretty much able to replicate like all of Luffy's powers, and it's funny because like I don't know, I'm looking like Paige and because like I love that badass moment where like Luffy like drags him into the mirror world and then he smashes the mirror. It's like one of those few like completely legitimately badass moments of Luffy where he takes charge as the captain and earns his right. 80% of the time it's like Goofy and then like the Straw Hat saying, "Oh, he's so selfish and goofy, but we still love him." But that 15 to 20% of the time you get the badass. I know what needs to be done. My animal instincts are kicking in, Luffy. Which is always great to see. So I fucking love that moment. And even if you look on like the last page of like 878, and it's just like Luffy and Dogtooth looking at each other, and they almost kind of look. They got like the black hair. Dogtooth looks like a more grizzled, like basically if like Kentaro Miura of Berserk drew Luffy.
I fucking love the fact that Dogtooth can actually make more arms.
Yeah. He doesn't even need to, like, do the whole stupid thing where he's, like, punching a lot, just to, fucking, yeah,
also,
he doesn't need to do that bullshit.
Also, is it just me, or is Big Mom being, like, increasingly more in control of her crazy bullshit, of herself? And I'm kind of pissed about it, because they basically sold that as, like, the penultimate psychotic berserker mode, and she's talking and laughing and not eating literally everyone. She's a little bit a little bit more in control than we'd like for like her wedding cake, because like there was a part of me that was like a little bit disappointed when like I was like, okay, I can accept this. This is the end of the arc. They got away from Big Mom from the cola. Sure, that makes the wedding cake, chocolate cake, a bit redundant, but they got away from her. They used the Kuda burst. Great. Luffy just has to deal with good old Dogtooth, and then we're gone. Oh no, Big Mom's still coming, and she's on this candy fucking sea slug. Sure, whatever. Also, I hate pudding. I still hate pudding. I hate pudding so much. I hate the fact that she's rolled up in a goddamn carpet.
She's like, oh, I want to hide, and I don't want anyone to see me. Ooh, I don't want to get embarrassed.
I never expected there to be this much yandere bullshit in One Piece. It's starting to piss me off. I really just need her to, like, fall out of the damn carpet and die.
Some sort of consequence now that, like, the jig is up and she's got, like, the freaking two-personality thing. But, yeah, I can sort of understand that.
What exactly is the point of her at this point? The Straw Hats have escaped, Luffy is fighting in a mirror world, and I don't know what the hell she's doing other than making
make a cake.
Some of the most disturbing faces I think I've seen out of One Piece in at least 500 chapters, and that includes the guy who just lost an arm and whose major facial feature is a tongue the size of his goddamn head.
Although, well, that brings up a good question, though. Do you think, like, they're leaning heavily into the fact that Pedro's probably dead? Do you think that's true? I would love it to be so, and I love Jimby's, like, stop bitching and keep moving. If you want to live in his spirit, then you got to start, like, reacting to shit. We're not out of this crap yet, but, like,
I'm going to be pissed if he comes back to life, especially with that level of skeletal ugly crying from Brooke.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, my heart of hearts knows that Oda will probably bring him back. Although, of course, I want him to be dead. I like it when Oda commits to shit. Like, One Piece doesn't need to be like a super brutally violent things. But like, if you're gonna pull out the death card, then stick with it. It's always better to stick with it, especially for a character like. Nobody's like, oh my god, there was so much more of Pedro we could have gotten. We just love Jaguar guys. It's such a tragedy that his life was cut short.
Yeah, every once in a while you just need to kill a motherfucker. Just to kind of reinforce the fact that there are still stakes.
Oh yeah. I would have loved the, like, fucking, last arc of Naruto so much better if, like, Kishimoto just went to town and, like, killed more than just Neji, and he just, like, you know what?
I mean...
We don't need Kiba. You can get rid of Kiba.
I would have loved the last third of Naruto if they just cut down, like, most of the gratuitous random people he just kind of shoehorned in there. I'm still not entirely sure what the point of the samurai people were, or even what they do.
They were terrible. They were awful.
Because we got, like, a couple chapters of, well, they exist now, and then nothing else important about them.
Yeah, I mean, I hate them, but I don't hate them as much as Sai. I think Sai is probably the
Okay,
character.
I think we can all agree that Sai and just about everything involving Root was pretty terrible.
Oh, God, yeah. And it was, like, it was such a waste of time, and it went nowhere. Oh, my fucking God. The pinnacle of that villainy was, like, killing a fucking frog. Yeah, that was a complete waste of time, and I'm super pissed about it. And even thinking about it gets me angry. But yeah, that's an example of, like, you have plenty of characters you could have killed off Kishimoto. And, Oda, we know you're not generally as bloodthirsty, but, we can afford to have Pedro be dead. As opposed to, like, some post-arc thing where, like, we see him on a crutch or something, and he's, like, bloodied up and really, scruffy looking.
Oh yeah, I finally finished the, Skypiea arc in the anime, because I've been going back and watching that.
Oh, did you like seeing it animated?
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, but Jesus Christ, again with the literally no one being dead.
Oda does that a lot, where there's like, oh, this is the character's life and death stakes, they're gonna be fine. Oh wait, no, they're like fine. But hey, at least he's committed with Ace, so that always made me very, very happy.
Yeah, bought a lot of goodwill from me.
But I must say though, as annoying as the pudding stuff is, though, I am loving the, like, mirror match between Luffy and fucking Dogtooth, and the fact that Dogtooth is an objectively better version of Luffy in every, like, qualitative quality.
So, I go to anime conventions, and I LARP.
Yep.
Oh man! So the one system that I use, all the One Piece characters are from right before the time skip, which pisses me off something terrible, because it would be so easy to add Haki to their characters and just give them some basic power ups. I mean, they allow a fucking Super Saiyan. Anyway, so I just have a list of characters that I'm going to, like, basically pre-register and force the GMs to, like, confront the fact that Haki exists, and Dogtooth is probably going to be one of them. Like, I am probably going to pre-register Silver Islet at one point, just out of spite.
Just to get them to acknowledge it. I wonder if that's weird that they allowed Super Saiyan, but they don't allow post-time skip. Like, because isn't Super Saiyan still technically beyond any other, like, shonen series? Like,
yeah, that's why I'm so pissed.
It's like, that kills everything. They destroy planets very casually. But yeah, I fucking love that, like, he does the, the fucking Gatling with the Haki, and the best part, like, Luffy's like, I'm gonna do my elephant gun! Okay, you wanna do an elephant gun? I'm just gonna do this to humor you. Just to make a fucking point. It's objectively better than yours. My power is better than yours. I am calmer than you. I have better observation hockey than you. Which, of course, is the big question.
I'm actually kind of amazed he has armament hockey. I didn't expect him to, for some reason. I just kind of assumed it would be literally all hyper-focused observation hockey. But no, apparently he has armament hockey too, and he is just better than Luffy.
Completely objectively. It's a fucking great match. And I can't wait to see what, like, Oda comes up with, like, for Luffy to, like, somehow outwit him, because, like, you know, Oda's usually pretty good at paying these things off, so I don't think
man, you know what would be amazing?
What?
If we see the return of Gummo Gummo no Bo.
What was the Gummo Gummo no Bo where he, like, shoots himself out or something?
No. Remember when he was fighting Inaru and he realized that Inaru could literally predict all of his movements?
Oh, yeah. And then
so he just turned his fucking brain off.
that might actually happen. I'm expecting, like, we're going to see, like, Gear 4, but I can't imagine Gear 4 is going to be that much more effective, given the fact that, like, you know, he was barely able to handle the Cracker guy in Gear 4, and, like, he needed fucking Nami's help to soak him down and spent several days eating him. And maybe that'll be Luffy's ultimate thing. He'll use the Pound Man to eat, because I can eat Moichi too!
I just realized, maybe this will be the cannibalism we've been waiting for in the arc.
What, that Luffy eats Kataguri because he's, like, made out of fucking Moichi?
Just eats Dogtooth, yeah.
You know, I would accept that. I would be completely fine with that. Although, oh man, wait till you see. Speaking of cannibalism, you probably haven't seen it yet, but because you've been busy with real life shit. But oh man, this week's episode of Rick and Morty is fucking fantastic. You're gonna love it.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It's all centered around Beth, and you know, I'll just like tease as much that there's cannibalism.
Awesome.
It features
all right.
very, very prominently. But yeah, Luffy's like objectively like kind of fucked over. So what would you? So let's see. What would you rate chapter 870? 878.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I would have given it a 9 if Pudding had fallen to her death.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid, because, you know, you got some good badass moments. You've got, like, you know, Kataguri continuing to be a badass, and you've got, like, you know, Pedro. But, you know, that's always good, that, like, when you have Luffy, like, trying to be a boss in the sort of do-or-die moments. So, you know, of course, that was great. And, you know, you also have the classic, you know, Straw Hat escape sequence, which, you know, we owe the Kuda Burst, which has, like, become, like, the unspoken signature, which we actually haven't seen a lot of. You saw it more in, like, the pre-time skip, where it's like, the Marines are coming, we gotta get out, and then we're gonna run away.
Yeah, that is pretty much the signal that the arc is just done.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think that was definitely an 8.
Alright. So what do you want to...
Wait, but what about 879, though? That's the one where you know, Luffy's fighting down Dogtooth.
Yeah, I guess I'll give that a 9. I did love watching Dogtooth beat the ever-loving shit out of Luffy.
Yeah, and I love the mirror match in a mirror world. It's a super fucking brilliant gimmick, and, you know, Oda did good with that one.
Alright, so what do you want to shill? I'm thinking Mochi. Mochi ice cream.
That's what I'm thinking too. You know, that's what makes the most sense to me. So yeah, and you can get lots of more. Moichi's actually pretty good. I freaking love Moichi. It's like fun and chewy, and then you can get it with, like, you know, red beans and other pastes. It's like, you know, I think Pocky is just kind of okay. Like you know, it's decent, but, like, you know, I never really got the. You really have to
go out of your way to get good Pocky. It's like the super extra special dessert Pocky and shit is pretty good, but just standard Pocky just kind of tastes like, I don't know. I mean, you could be doing more with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Like, if you give me Pocky, I'll eat it. But, like, Moichi, it's just more texturally fun to eat. It's like Moichi, and it's got
Mochi.
And, you know, I just like the texture. I like the fucking squishiness, and I like all the shit it has in it.
All right, so you want to do from?
So go buy some Moichi and then live out your weeboo fantasies alone as you get your Moichi
In your room,
in
by
your room.
yourself, full of shame.
Yeah, exactly. You could like sit there in your room and pretend you're at a con where they'll probably sell it to you for like $10 because they like always overcharge for like imported Japanese sweets.
Yeah,
which is always ridiculous. All right, so thank you for listening. Let us know what your comments are if you like prefer this audio format. I'm going to clean up the audio so it sounds a little bit better than what we usually do. How do you like this versus the usual video things? So thank you so much. Have a good one, and remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.